All right, welcome back, everybody. We are in the wholesaling class, and in this module, Module 2, we are going to be talking about the myths and realities of wholesaling. So we're going to bust a few myths that are out there, maybe some of the things that you're worried about, and we're going to talk about really, in reality, what is wholesaling. So as we do in each and every one of these modules, I do need to give you a disclosure first. I'm not a licensed attorney, accountant, financial advisor, real estate broker, real estate agent, or any other licensed individual. I'm just a student, just like you. I've just had a lot of success with these strategies that I'm teaching, and I want to pass some of that knowledge on to you guys so you can go out and do it as well. So hopefully that's okay for everybody. Let's dive in. I want to talk to you about the myths. There are a lot of myths around wholesaling. There are a lot of, I think, built up ideas that aren't necessarily true that prevent people from using this strategy. So let's go ahead and bust some of those right away. So first off, a lot of people think that mistakes are magnified and costly. They don't want to mess up, so they don't even get into it in the first place, and that creates a huge fear and what I call analysis paralysis. While you can make mistakes that can be costly, that's very rare in wholesaling. Wholesaling isn't a high stakes type strategy. So as long as you're knowledgeable and you know what you're doing and you pay attention to your deadlines, and you pay attention to the local and federal laws around wholesaling, which we're going to get into, mistakes is part of what is going to happen in your real estate investing career. Like I've said over and over and over again, you're going to suck at this until until you do it enough to where you have the practice and the experience to go do it well. As human beings, we all suck at things that we start out doing right away. It's not until we have the knowledge and the experience that really we develop a skill in anything. So expect to make some mistakes. You're going to. Do the best you can not to, but you know what? That's part of it. You're going to have to fall on your face a couple of times and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. But don't let that be something that will paralyze you. Don't let the fear of making mistakes paralyze you into not taking action, because this really is a simple strategy that you can go out and start making money right away with the right knowledge and the right work ethic. The next thing is wholesaling is illegal. Not true. In most states, wholesaling is absolutely legal. You do need to pay attention to your state laws, though, because those laws vary state to state. And what wholesaling can have blurred lines with is the idea of being a real estate agent. And there's different boundaries that different states have created between having to have a license in order to go out and broker properties like this, and the actual strategy of wholesaling. So you're going to have to get familiar with your local laws. The best way to do that is to reach out to your state's Department of Real Estate, or DRE, and get a good understanding of what wholesaling means in your particular state. But I know that in most states, it is not illegal. It's absolutely a strategy that you can go out and make money with. The next fear is that, and the next myth is that everyone is wholesaling and it's too easy. Well, that's not true. Most people want to, they just don't know how to. And I can tell you that in the real estate world, finding properties, if you can develop a skill of finding properties, that is gold in the real estate world. A lot of people don't have that talent or don't want to put the effort into going out and finding property. So if you can become a pro at that, you're going to do really, really well with wholesaling, not to mention all the other strategies that you want to implement. The next myth is that I can do it alone. Well, that's not necessarily true. You're going to need some relationships. You're going to need some relationships with title companies. You're going to need some relationships with people who would potentially be buyers of the properties you're finding. So you are going to need some relationships there. The next myth is the opposite of that. I can't do it alone. A lot of people are worried that they're going to have huge overhead, that they've got to get a building and a phone system and employees and all these things. Well, that's not true either. You can definitely be a one-man band as a wholesaler. Like I said before, you are going to need relationships with like title companies, and you're going to need buyers. So you are going to need some relationships, but you don't need an overwhelming infrastructure with tons and tons of overhead. This is something that you can go out and start doing right away on your own. So don't let that hold you back. The next myth is that there are no deals around. Well, that's created by people who don't know how to find deals. And the whole point of wholesaling is to build that skill up of learning how to go find off-market properties and to be able to flip those to investors who are ready to go do fix and flips or ready to acquire rental properties. So that is not true. And if you watch we're going to talk about that a lot in this class, but if you watch the off-market deals class, you know that there's tons of deals out there. There are tons of people that are in distress, homes that are in distress, that are just waiting for someone to come bail them out, and that can be you. So that's that myth is definitely not true. The next myth is that a lot of money is required. Most of the wholesale deals that I've done, I didn't drop a penny out of my pocket for. So and you make pretty decent money doing wholesaling. So that's not the case. It's something that just with the right amount of knowledge and the right work ethic, you can go out and get started with right away. The next myth is that no one will buy my deals. Well, that's not true either. Just like you, there are a lot of people out there that want to get into real estate investing but don't know how to do it. And we're going to talk about how to build a buyer's list and where to find those people. But there are absolutely investors out there that A, are looking to get into real estate investing and be anxious to buy a really good deal with good numbers, and B, experienced real estate investors that either don't have the time or the desire to go out and find these deals on their own. So I can tell you that I've done both wholesaling, where I've found and sold properties. I've also bought a lot of wholesales that I went and flipped or kept as rental properties. So, both sides of the coin. If I've got some extra deals that are coming across my desk that I don't have the bandwidth to do, I flip them to other investors. But the other side of that is sometimes I'm so busy I don't have time to go out and find deals. So I love that I have a network of wholesalers that I can reach out to and let them know what I'm looking for, and they can find it for me, and we can make it happen. And then the last myth that I want to talk about is it's too time consuming. Well, that's true and false. The true side of that is you're going to have to put some time into learning this. There is a runway, there is a learning curve to each and every one of the strategies that you're going to learn in regards to real estate investing, and wholesaling is no exception to that. There will be a learning curve, and you're going to have to be willing to put the time and the effort into developing those skills. But once you have those skills down, it becomes a really simple thing to go out and do. So, like I tell a lot of people, give it a minimum of 10 hours a week. With 10 hours a week, I think that's enough for most people to go out and start becoming successful with this. Obviously, I'm not promising you any results, but that's what I've seen. A lot of people are able to go out and build a really good part-time income while working their job just simply by wholesaling. And a lot of those students that I've seen be successful with it eventually end up quitting their job because they're making so much money, even with just this strategy. So those are the myths I wanted to bust. Now let's talk about some of the realities of wholesaling. There is an abundant market for buyers out there. Like we talked about when we were busting that myth, there are experienced real estate investors who either don't have the time or the desire to go out and find these deals on their own, and they're looking for someone like you to go out and find these deals and turn them, and it's a great way for you to make a profit. The next reality that I want to talk about is one of the only true no money down strategies. Like I said, I rarely, I don't want to say never because I can't remember but I can't think of any wholesale deals that I've done where I actually pulled money out of my pocket. Maybe one or two for earnest money that got refunded to me when I sold the property. But it really is one of the only true no money down strategies. There's an abundant supply of properties. In Salt Lake County, I've got a list of 5,600 pre-foreclosures that are on the market. That's just one of the many, many strategies that we talk about in both this class and in the Finding Off-Market Deals class. That's just one. So 5,600 available at any given time for me to go out and start talking to homeowners just with that one strategy for finding. So there is an abundance of properties. I mean, at any given time, I could pull up with all of the strategies. I could pull up 10,000 properties in the area that I live in, and go out and start doing deals. And that may be true on a certain scale anywhere in the country. Obviously, urban and suburban areas are going to have more of those types of properties available. Rural areas, definitely fewer and further between. But it's it's something that if you learn those strategies, you're going to have an abundant supply of properties to go call on. Then the question is, are you going to do it, right? And that's where the work ethic comes in. Another reality is it's a great supplement to any real estate investing strategy. Wholesaling for me is a supplemental strategy. I like to do 5 to 7 fix and flips at a time. I'm focused on building my rental portfolio, but you know what? There are some deals that come across my desk that A, either don't fit my model, or B, I'm just too busy to take on at the moment. I take those deals and I wholesale them off and make a profit. It's much better than just passing the deal by and not making any money on it. And you get a profit, and an investor gets a great deal. So it's a win-win. Another reality is this low risk, high reward. That's comparative to other real estate investing strategies. If you don't have to actually own the real estate, you're eliminating a lot of liability. And a lot of the wholesaling strategies are going to teach you never own the property in the first place. So low risk, high reward for the amount of work that's done. I've charged anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 for a single wholesale deal. I'd say that's a pretty good spectrum. You can definitely charge less than that. I've seen people charge a lot more than that. So the sky's the limit. Definitely a high reward, and I would say one of the lower risk strategies that's out there when it comes to real estate investing. The next reality is that there's multiple ways to structure a deal. That is so true. If a deal doesn't work necessarily as a fix and flip type wholesale, where you'd be wholesaling it to somebody who is going to go in and fix and flip it, well, there's other strategies out there. There's lease options, there's rentals, there's Airbnbs. There's so many different strategies, and if you learn to analyze deals with all of these different strategies in mind, that's going to open you up to a whole new world of buyers and make it much easier for you to secure more deals and have a higher conversion rate of the deals that you go and look at to deals that you actually make money on and are able to wholesale. And then another reality is there are some legal issues which vary state to state. So certain states have laws around wholesaling. Some are stricter than others. So you want to make sure, and that's your responsibility, you want to make sure that you go out and talk to the Department of Real Estate in your state and discuss with them what the rules and what the laws are about wholesaling. You can take all of these strategies and apply them. Just make sure you do it through the lens of your state's laws. Now, that wraps up the myths and realities that I wanted to go through, and that concludes Module 2. In the next module, we are going to be talking about preparing for the deal and all the things that you need to do in order to do that. That will be in Module 3. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next module.